What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Hitman Contracts. It's time for Beldingford Manor. So immediately turn around and then go to the stairs, and we're going to have to wait for the guard conversation here to end. This strategy is mostly the same as how I used to do it, but in order to get all zeros, I had to change the beginning part to a more risky and complicated strategy. The other thing I could have done is the basement guard that I used to fiber wire, I could have sedated him, but then I'd have to do a more risky, complicated strategy for rescuing the hostage out of the horse stables. And I opted for the former outcome because it's better. Or I think it's better. So we're going to start off the same, just follow the... You need to sneak your way through here, following the exact path that I go, and then once we enter the hedge maze, just watch the way I go, and then follow it. So yeah, this way, and then this way, like that, and then just go the exact way I went to find that little hatch that gets you into the basement. And here's what you got to do. You just got to brute force it through the basement. If that cutscene, if that cutscene happens, you're just gonna have to skip it because you got to hurry to the stairwell before the guard in the basement could possibly spot you. Now here's where things are kind of tricky. We need to get through these corridors very carefully, avoiding potential guards and a butler. Their timing is not very consistent, so you're going to have to check the keyholes before you brute force it. If you get caught, you'll just have to start over and try again. But the goal is to get to the spiral staircase so that we can go up into this bedroom and then just sneak up and steal the house guest uniform without waking up the guy in bed, obviously. So now we can walk around. But we still have to be careful because you don't want to get too close to the guards. They're not supremely sensitive if you're wearing this disguise, as opposed to, say, a guard uniform, but you still don't want to get too close to them. If you look at them just a little too funny, they'll consider it a war crime and try to kill you. So just go the way I went to get to this little kitchen or whatever. And here's where things are going to get more familiar from this point on. We need to turn the furnace off to distract the, I think that's like a housemaid or something. But we need to get her out of that bathroom because we need to go through it. So we'll go upstairs. And we're going to have to quickly go in here to pick up the vial of poison off the dresser. And then here's the bathroom we need to get through. And we use the secret door to sneak into the master bedroom where our first target is. Now you'll see that I go in, but I realize, oh yeah, I forgot that we don't want to go in yet because if your timing is in sync with mine, he should be getting up and out of bed right now. And going back to the sneaking through the corridors part, I can't stress enough to check the keyholes as you run through those corridors because you want to make sure they're clear before you go. It's inconsistent, but for the sake of all zeros, it's just what we have to do. And at least it's at the beginning of the level, so restarting's not the end of the world. So now we're waiting for our first target to come back to bed because we're going to suffocate him with the pillow while he's asleep. Alternatively, right now you could sneak to his bedside table and poison a glass of milk with the poison we took, but we're going to use that on the other target. I mean, this isn't like the World of Assassination trilogy where poisons are single use, unless you have multiple. No, this vial of poison you can use twice if you want to, but we're just going to use it once for the sake of variety, I guess you could say. So just let him go back to bed before we sneak up on him. That should be a good point to just inch your way out. And basically, the cue to when he's sleeping is that I think there's that lamp with like the green lampshade is going to turn off. See? And then the red pillow, you can pick that up and then suffocate with pillow. Don't worry about the woman. As long as you're sneaking, she won't wake up. The only way you'll wake her up is if you either walk and or run, but just sneak the whole time and you'll be fine. You're gonna have to check this keyhole because sometimes those double doors right there do not close when he comes back through. So you're gonna have to make sure that no guards are in a position where they can see you before you come through. And then we'll use this little hidden ladder to get to this little loft room, which takes us to another spiral staircase where we're going to go all the way down and back to the bottom floor. We'll cut through this room right here where the second target is, but do not, I repeat, do not run in this room. It will cause the target to instantly aggro. But now we're back at the first spiral staircase that we had to get to earlier, but this time we're going down to poison the whiskey in the basement. Stand exactly where I'm standing so that you can poison it without the guard seeing you. And there's also some kind of weird bug in this mission where if you poison the whiskey in front of the barrel, you know, where the spigot is, then for somehow, some way, this causes guards to instantly aggro and to telepathically know where you are, and they'll come hunt you down. Or at the very least, it has happened to me in the past. So stand on the side of the barrel, not in front of it, when you poison it. And now we just need to get back outside, and we need to go to the horse stables to rescue the hostage. And since I did the more complicated strategy of getting into the house and getting this guest uniform, I can do the horse stable strategy the same way I always did, where I sedate the stable boy to take his key and his clothes, as opposed to the more complicated method of distracting the guards, taking the key from the guard room, and then putting weed killer in the horse's water to kill them and freak out the stable boy. That's far more complicated and risky, and I didn't want to do that. And then I almost screwed up here because I didn't realize the stable boy there was already up in the loft where we want him to be. So I just had to sit and wait for him to go back. So basically, once he comes back, we're going to follow him up into the loft where he urinates on the hay bales. We'll use our syringe to sedate him. We're going to take the stable keys that he has and his clothes, because you need to be dressed up as this stable boy or whatever, or farmer, or whatever you want to call him. Because if you enter the stables with any other outfit, the horses will freak out and the guards will come to investigate. So we're just waiting for the farmer to come back. And then we will sedate him. So yeah, this mission is now harder than it used to be, and that's just because using our fiber wire on the guard in the basement, we can't do that anymore. We could have used the syringe instead, but the more complicated strategy of of getting past the horses and the farmer in the stables. I don't like doing it that way. I mean, killing the horses is one thing, but it's also harder that way, so that alone is why I don't do it. But then again, sneaking through the corridors to get to that spiral staircase, avoiding the guards and the butler, that is kind of a pain too, because their timing is not always consistent. But again, at the absolute bare minimum, it's at the beginning of the level, so restarting and trying again is not the end of the world. And it's easier on a lower difficulty where you can just follow the dots on the map. But on professional, you can't do that. Alright, so let's follow him up here. We'll get our syringe out and put him to sleep. Take the stable key and the clothes. And now we'll go rescue the prisoner, who's over here, the last one to the right.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Please, not already. Look, I'm begging you, okay? I'm a Northcott, you understand? My father is rich. He's a very, very wealthy man. I mean, I'll pay you anything you want, you understand?
Keep it down. Your father's paying me to free you.
Free me? Oh, thank God. You know, they were gonna hunt me. Like an animal. Like some beast.
You think you can escape, aren't you?
Oxford sprinting champion 3 years in a row.
Alright, so
God bless you. See ya.
he's all good to go. Now let's get out of here ourselves. Careful going out this front door, because you don't want to have a close encounter with a guard. The guards are less sensitive outside than they are inside, but you still don't want to run into them. Especially if you're dressed up as a guard yourself. So just follow my path and we'll get back to the Zodiac boat, which we have docked right back where we started. Right over here. There you go. All zeros. That completes it. See you next time.